I like timeliness is a big thing.
It's it's like one of the very few things. I have dated guys fresh out of prison. I have no problems with it. Like, but if you're gonna be,
but if you're not on time, that
if
just
you're
means
fucking
you don't
late,
give a fuck, and plus it just means you're kind of fucking lazy and shit.
I'm guessing the guy with the ankle bracelet was probably pretty on time. He didn't have the luxury of a spare minute. This is turning into a Stern like episode, just kind of berating all the X-Men you dated. It's easy and it's fun, so let's continue this party.
I meet a lot of men at Mile High Spirit, the club.
Oh yeah, so we know. Shout out to Wynn Farrell. We'll be hosting and helping promote and sponsor.
I love that place.
Mile High. Are you going to be at the block party?
I feel like was that a year ago already? Is there another one?
Yeah, it turns out it was about 11.5 months ago.
Shit, yeah, I'll totally be there.
It's like, I think September 8th for those that are curious. Quinn CV2, I think. And that's Roman decimals. I don't fucking know. I was
like, what is he trying to say?
It's the DJ that's hosting. Quinn,
I don't know.
37 or 67, I don't know.
But I love it's my favorite place to go. And they treat me really well there. They're so sweet. I really like it there. Then their alcohol's great. Anyways, the problem with the general population there is that everyone's super young. So I continuously, I ran into another 22-year-old I was trying to date there when I was there on Saturday night.
What do you mean by run into and trying to date? These are two terms that our demographic doesn't know.
So
we use bang it out and holler at. And so did you bang it out with one and you're trying to holler at the other? Or
so one guy I was seriously trying to date. Okay. So he was actually courting me. He
took you out to dinner without going home.
Yes. Okay. All that stuff. And then the other one, I met him out and he was a twin and they were both really hot and I was like, this is amazing.
Did they have a thing where
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, you have to ask. You have to ask. Everybody's wondering.
Are you guys, do you know what finger cuffs is? That's all I ever think about when someone asks.
Yeah. It's the Chinese finger trap games for those that are listening at home.
It's
just pictured differently.
Kevin Smith movie reference.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, he just was really cute and really fun, but he was definitely only calling me, he'd be like, what are you doing tonight? My friends and I are going out, I'll hit you up later. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm a lady. And I'm down to I had I talk about this on my podcast ad nauseum, but
what was the name of the podcast for our listeners?
So my current podcast is called My Best Friend Corinn, but for 3.5 years I had another one called All the Fixins with somebody else from Survivor named Max Dawson. But when my last significant relationship, while it was short, it was with a 22-year-old, and he was illiterate. And I didn't mind.
Well, yeah, of course he couldn't read. He's about to pick it up this coming year in school.
Yeah.
I can do this all day. This is
he was a model and he couldn't read. So I would text him. He had a motorcycle and I would text him. And he would pull over and be like,
are you more superficial
babe,
than me?
I can't. Yeah. He's like, babe, I can't read this. And I'm like, you have to sound it out. You have to sound out the word. I'm not going to tell you. You got to sound it out.
That's not fucking real.
It's real. So I loved him. I brought him to every party. I brought him everywhere. I moved him in after a week.
This kid can't read, but
moved him in after a week?
Yeah. And so I was leaving. I always tell this story because it epitomizes how dumb he was, but how sweet he was. I was leaving, so I would let him stay in my apartment all week when I was traveling. He could drive my car. I don't really care. Do whatever you want. But I had one rule.
Read, but he has the keys to your car.
License. Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, driving and reading are not synonymous. I think he knows the stop sign. So anyway, I was leaving, and what I said to him was please, you can do whatever you want. I could care less, but use a fucking coaster on my tables. I can't stand coming back, and there's rings everywhere. There are coasters everywhere. Just use a coaster. And he's like, okay. So as I'm leaving, that was a major rule I had. That was the only rule I had. I mean,
use coasters.
He got busted for ecstasy at a rave, and I bailed him out of jail. I wasn't even mad. Just use a coaster. It's the only thing. So I am leaving. I've got my rolly suitcase in the doorway, and he goes, babe, before you go, do you have any tape? And I was like, tape? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, second drawer of my office. And I'm like, I walk out the door. I'm like, no, that doesn't read well. So I go back inside. I'm like, hey, what do you need the tape for? And he's like, I'm going to tape a coaster to every glass so I don't make any mistakes while you're gone.
Jesus Christ, you really date mentally challenged folks.
I loved him.
I don't even know what to say. And I
loved him. He broke up with me.
It kind of reminds me of the episode of Always Sunny when the military vet who Dee broke up with right when he got back because she thought his legs didn't work, but then his legs were just tired, and it turns out he was really dumb, but he was like really everything else was going for him, and then he broke up with Dee, and Dee's like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to break up with you.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, have you ever thought about casting as Sweet Dee? And always, I mean, I am baffled.
Maybe I should go as her for Halloween this year.
I am baffled. Could you go blonde?
I could wear a wig.
There you go. We're going to have to go Wayne and Garth if we continue our hair growth here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have the glasses for it. We'll make it happen. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That was the most... Do you need to go on something like The Bachelor or Bachelorette?
They won't take me. I'm too old.
Or The Cougarette? I mean, something like that.
I'm just, like, hopeful. I was thinking maybe, like, Married at First Sight would work for me.
Is it? So do you watch a lot of fucking, like,
nope,
shitty...
I've never seen it, but my parents keep asking me to do it.
So
hold on, how'd you get on The Amazing Race?
Great question. So
Did they reach out to you?
Yeah. So I'd never seen an episode of it. I knew what it was conceptually, but I never watched it. I don't like reality TV. I actually only watch, like, reality TV wise, I watch, like, documentaries and prison shows, but I would never ever watch The Bachelor.
Hence your fascination.
Yeah.
With
What's that
guys?
reality show? The Prison...
Lockdown Law. Which one?
Yeah. That,
Love After Lockdown.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think that's it. I don't know. I'll trust you. But yeah, you
They're
nailed
great.
it.
How many
Those are quality.
letters have you sent Charlie Manson?
None, but I did send one to Scott Peterson years ago.
What the fuck?
I thought he was cute.
What the fuck?
My best friend sent them to the Menendez brothers, and she got a response.
I would hope it would be stop sending emails. This is from the security guard. What the fuck?
In my podcast, we donate money into the commissary for different prisoners that we feel like got a raw deal.
You mean like got fucked in the ass raw deal, or do you
No,
mean
like they got arrested for like jumping a turnstile in New York City, like bullshit, low level offenses that they ended up
that
putting.
sounds like a good cause,
isn't it? It's the only thing I do charitably.
Well,
Don't jump
it sounds
the
like you
turnstile.
buy
We buy them
a bunch
books.
of fucking prisoners. That
Well,
sounds
yeah,
pretty
also.
charitable.
So I went to Mile High this one time, and I ended up I met
Getting
this guy.
arrested? Fuck.
Oh no, I have no record. I took an Uber here because I was like, I will not have like a cocktail and drive. Like I'm
with you, sister.
I'm super anal about that. Yeah, it's too long of a story. I won't tell it, but I did accidentally take a felon home, and he got really fucked up. And when I woke up, he had gone insane, like schizo, basically nuts. He had found like all of my meds from Amazing Race because I had just gotten back from it, and he had dumped them out on my counter, like my malaria med, like I'm talking not fun stuff, like just things you have to take while you're traveling abroad.
I mean, I stopped taking my malaria med halfway through, so I know. Continue.
So yeah, he was like, he just went insane, and I come to find out he's fresh out of prison. And now he knows where I live. And I actually, the reason I let him stay over, I have a guest room. And I let him stay over because he wasn't drinking, because he's like, I don't drink and drive. I was like, I respect that. You can stay at my place. That was a mistake. I was like checking for my passport, my checkbooks. Like I was really nerved out. It was bad.
I
didn't really do that story justice. But
I don't know what to say.
He was hot.
I'm not sure.
And I probably would have gone out with him one more time.
I mean,
I'm a really good guy then.
Would you say that your love for 22-year-olds supersedes your love for prisoners? And is it just swole juice monkeys that you like, technically? And
no.
It doesn't matter where, if they get swole in jail or in the high school gym?
I would actually prefer, I would always take a guy that's a little bit, like, fat than a little bit too thin. Actually would err on the side of, like,
thick,
a little.
you just like getting tossed around.
I don't know. I like to be the little spoon. So I'm tall. I always say I'm 5'7", but I present 5'9".
Is that a thing? That
Attitude gives you that extra 2 inches.
It's not the heels.
Hey,
like, with
shut
heels,
up. Let's not talk about adding 2 inches. We all do it from time to time.
I'm telling you, if I left this interview and I emailed you guys and was like, how tall do you think I am? You would both say 5'9".
We've been sitting down, so that would be a tough
You would still
one.
say 5'9".
Would I?
You would think I was much taller than I am.
Okay.
It's a little trick I've mastered.
All right, so let's talk about other tricks you've mastered. You found your way onto the master of manipulation, and we found our way all the way into Amazing Race.
Oh, yeah.
We got into. That's where the tangent went, but we love tangents, so don't worry.
Okay.
You got 5th or 6th or something like 7th.
It
doesn't matter. But you came in second to a couple of sisters who y'all had a little animosity with, and I kind of wanted to know the backstory of, does everybody hate, please tell everyone the name for our reality fans at home, the Big Brother girls.
Okay, so it was this particular season of The Amazing Race, since I don't think it's that watched, is Survivor versus Big Brother versus previous Amazing Racers. So right off the bat, as soon as we don't know who else is playing. When we get there, like they've taken our phones, they quarantine us, and then you see who else is playing.
So
we were like, fuck. Because some of these people are on their 3rd time racing Amazing Race. If you put me on Survivor for the 3rd time, I would do better inherently because you know shit. Especially on a show like Race. You know all the ins and outs and you know how to work the system. So we get out there, and I don't watch Big Brother. I had no idea who any of these people were, but my partner, Eliza Orleans, does. So we didn't know who we would like and who we didn't, but on face value, and I say this all the time, I'm actually friends with them. I love them off the show. But Rachel and Alyssa Riley look like insane clowns. Like, they have, you know, a lot
fake
of
faces.
Yeah. And so immediately, and they're wearing the most insane outfit. Like at face value, I was like, oh my God. Like, and again, it's the same pitfall I fall into with America not siding with me. They are beloved. America thinks it's adorable that they wear body glove head to toe and have had the work done or whatever. You know, like, I was like, well, they've got to be insane. Like, look at them. They must be crazy. Now I know them off screen, and I think they're both like awesome, especially Rachel. She's pretty awesome, really.
So does she just play the camera like a fiddle? Like
yeah. Rachel is a professional reality show personality.
You are as well. Like, you do well playing not necessarily the heel, but like the snake in someone's boot, you know, so to speak.
I think
for
that
the rednecks or Southerners out there, like.
So there's 2 kinds of reality show people. There's people that ramp up. And they are personalities that are different than they are in real life. So, like, for a great example, you guys brought him up earlier, is Johnny Fairplay. He changed his last name to Fairplay, right? So he made up the story about his dead grandmother, which he knew would be controversial. None of the things I do, everything I do is completely authentic. I don't actually think anything I'm doing is like...
Just like a real good old-fashioned asshole like us.
I'm a classahole. I'm a classy asshole, yes.
Well, we don't have any class. We're just assholes.
But I don't pre-plan skits. I don't think about like, oh my God, we're going to do this and it'll really freak people out. Like, I don't do that at all. I'm just, you know, I have like social Tourette's, and I'm like, I say and do things that people wouldn't normally do.
Cheers.
But Rachel is much, I think, savvier. Like, she knew to put like the hashtags on her clothes, you know. Would
you fuck her husband? He's like 6'8".
No, he's not. He's like 6'1". I think
really?
He's very
he
good
looks
looking.
Fucking huge. So she's another. Chris is kind of tuned out in stone. He's another reality star. They met on the show Big Brother, and as someone who grew up watching with his father, all Amazing Race, we tried out for Amazing Race, like just the application, but we didn't have the gay son-father duo like you're talking about.
You have to, or you have to hate each other.
Yeah, we went with I Live With My Mom growing up. Didn't have it with my dad.
And you have a southern drawl. I'm surprised you didn't.
I know, but I mean, they didn't choose us. My dad was like, I can drive a stick and you can do all the scary shit. I was like, we got this. They didn't even give us the nod, but they met on a different show. CBS is kind of king of the reality shows, so it was just it was the summer show, which is going on now, but I don't watch it anymore. Summer's a little too much fun with this podcast and everything else. But
are you guys going to go on the road with this? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, we are. So that's the plan, is to take this away. We've gone places. We've visited the X Games and other locations, but we have bigger and brighter plans. Stone Appetit tour will eventually take place where we goof
But
off.
I also have a real job, so we can't just do this. Yeah. We don't get paid for this.
No, not yet. Not yet. But we do want to give a shout out to our sponsors this week. We'll give this one to Seed and Smith, the people you can buy their weed from. Live Well. Get your weed from Live Well, Enlightened Health. Seed and Smith has a new premium pen and cartridge. And then also we have Broadway Marketplace, home of 7 different restaurants.
Home of the best tater tots I've ever had.
I know, they're fucking fantastic, from Bijou's with that, it seems like it's a dry spice and then like a chimichurri or some kind of like green.
It tastes like I'm eating Indian food, but it's a tater tot.
Yeah, and that is definitely possible. And then Mother Tongue with Daniel Asher, Pizza Caperta with Chef Paul, I mean, we have a full-service bar behind us serving fantastic gin. Chef Jesus is at the counter serving sushi.
Maria Empanada.
We have Lorena. And then we have the boys back there at Mondo Market cooking up dank-ass Italian bowls. So come on down to Broadway Market and just knock that out of the fucking park.